public school. And they make the Indians ashamed of what they are. But the Indians have something that the white man will never have. They have a culture that they could be proud of, that they should be proud of.
Allison Bridges was one of the organizers of a weekly dance in Tacoma. Not long ago, people believed the Indians were a vanishing race, but the Indians are not dying out. More and more young Indians are trying to learn about their culture and traditions. That doesn't mean just dancing and handicraft. It means returning to a way of life in harmony with the land and each other. It means helping Indian brothers and sisters who have fallen in despair in the cities.
Well, why don't you tell us? Why don't you just say in your own words what you have in mind here?
Senator, we'd like to be able to read it to you.
How long is it going to take?
It won't take too long, Senator. Dear Senator Jackson, Kanechatop Indian Council is submitting a proposal to obtain the United States Army land and buildings at Fort Lawton for use as a multi-service center and a cultural, vocational, and higher education center for all American Indian and Alaska Natives. Statistics recently founded, I'm sorry I didn't think about it.
What I'm saying is, and if it takes to occupy the place to show the man that we really need it now, then we're going to have to do it.
Tomorrow, we shall make a stand to reclaim part of our own land that has been taken away from us, that has been paid for.
A war dance was held. The plan to occupy the surplus land at Fort Lawton was announced. The next morning, Indians stormed the fort from every direction. Some climbed fences, some came up the cliffs from the beach, some rushed through the gates. The army closed in on scattered groups of Indians. Women were knocked to the ground. Men were clubbed. Cameras were smashed. Movie film and tapes were destroyed. 64 people, the youngest of them 3 years old, were held all day in 2 cells. After most of them had been released, a dozen military men fell on those remaining and beat them in their cells. The Indians tried to tell their story, but the army denied everything. Next week, the Indians came again, this time in one group, silently climbing the cliffs in the dark of night, waiting just under the edge of the bluff until the first light of morning.
Where's he at?
Alpha 1, you read me, listen. We are in position. We are on the Fort Lawton Indian Reservation. We have erected a teepee. About 50 of us are waiting for the Indians to arrive. There they come. Try the council here, all council people over here. Hey, guys. Now try to head anything off. I think we ought to send a couple, 3 people down here under a flag of truce. Let them know that this is a peaceful, non-violent settlement. And we don't want to interfere with the military operation.
Let's have a flag of truce. Who's got a handkerchief?
I did. Put it on the walkie-talkie. No, we must have it. Yeah.
He's on down the road, please.
Sorry, I used to see this in the movies and laugh like
He said that, man, we can't stay here.
We were informed that they had 35,000 troops at his disposal, and he will call them if necessary.
A few, including the movie cameraman, fled back down the cliff, pursued by MPs. The others waited, allowing themselves to be taken away without resisting. Federal trespassing charges were filed against them. The Indians were defeated once again by the U.S. Army. Young Sugar Frank spent his first day in jail, and his family knew that there would be more times, many more times for all of them, and that they would go on fighting because they saw more and more Indian people coming together. In victory and defeat, they were being united.
Hey.